Choke, no joke. Chicky choke, no joke. Choke, no joke. Chicky choke, no joke. Late night, neon lights bright. Chilling in the town, New York City. Downtown, the deuce. Pimps pushing prostitutes, panties with high boots. Choke, no joke. Late night. I had to come on, man, because I had a ill thought, right? Remembering a conversation that me and Suge had, and I was sitting there looking at, you know, uh, doing some research and coming up with I came across something that I seen over and over and over and over again. But now I was able to put some pieces together, right? So shout out to Taiwan in the building. Kareem Smiggity's here, CC Crippin, what up? Inside in the building. Inside the building in the building. Whack on wood in the building. Uninvited guests is here. Do things is here. CC Crippin is here. Boney's here. Drew C is here. Chuck Dickinson's here. Rasan in the building. Got the membership gang in the building. Detroit, what's up? All right, the Big D. Pause. Rasan Green. All right. Charlie L in the building. Who is that? Dope, Dope Cat Strange. I don't know. 911. Tycon in here. Latif in here. Mad Money. Teddy in the building. Curtis P in the building. CDT 2261 in the building. Mickey, you made it. Sis Cristal in the building. Underwrite Entertainment in the building. Q Morris in the building. Choke no joke. They coming in. They coming in. I thought y'all be asleep, man. I ain't know Q Morris was still woke. Y'all up late night. I like that. I like that. You know what I mean? So, as y'all know, people out here running with my content to get some views. It's all good. Got them fighting with each other. You know what I mean? Because my content getting them hot. Niggas hate me, talk about I don't know what I'm talking about, but they using my content. But I ain't got to strike them because I ain't a sucker like the rest of these suckers. Right? So, um, thing that caught my attention, right? Oh, there's something else I got to pull up too before I get to that. Almost forgot. Shout out to Neckbone, right? Now y'all know Neckbone had went on Vlad and did interviews with Vlad and the Rat, the, the Fed and the Rat. Yo, Neckbone, you better stay away from them alphabet boys, nigga. Them niggas ain't right, Neckbone. But Neckbone, I was telling you, man, I don't understand why you would sit up there and do an interview with Rhoden Rat Jr., right? Because you did mention that, you was living a nice civilian life, working at the DMV, and all of a sudden you just started getting hot. You know what I'm saying? To the point where you had to leave your job. And like I told you, go through that bum's channel and just put your name in. And you'll see how much he talked about you because he's the one that got you hot to make you lose your civilian job. You know what I mean? I know you was out here doing right by the law, doing the good, living like a good man, not banging, you know, left the gang banging life alone, doing the right things with your life. And this nigga done went and got you hot up and got all this attention on you, right? To where now the corporate people, they fear you because people like him and that federale over there calling you the enforcer, which ain't doing you no good. Talking about you death row's number one enforcer or the enforcer. That's not a good look, bro. That's not a good look, Neckbone. And I was telling you, Neckbone, Rhoden Rat Jr. is the one that got you hot, right? So I did a show, and I want to say it's been 2023, right? When Rhoden Rat Jr. was ratting, pardon me, when Rhoden Rat Jr. was ratting on all of y'all, right? So I dug up a little clip for you, Neckbone. And I'm sure if you're not watching, somebody's gonna be hitting you right now, telling you to tune in, you know. And if you are asleep, or tomorrow, this will pop up on your timeline, or somebody will send it to you. But remember, I was telling you, your man is a rat, right? And he was out here giving y'all government names. This is how you probably got uh the light bulb lit up at the DMV on their heads on who you was, because not only did Rhoden Rat Jr. go out there and rat on you and Keefe D's grand jury, like I told you, he gave up your name, he gave up your government name, and he gave up your gang affiliation, which isn't a good look. So to see you go and sit down with this funky fat bastard, right, was very mind-boggling to me. Like, why would you be sitting down with Rhoden Rat Jr., the guy that sat down with Gray Caden and snitched on Suge and said Suge allegedly got Biggie killed by ways of Teresa Swan or Tammy Hawkins and Poochie? Like, why would you be sitting there with this rat, this funky fat rat, right? Who want to play both sides of the fence? Why would you be sitting down with him, Neckbone, out of all people, and that alphabet boy from the Ukraine, right? Why would you, as a reputable, solid street dude, because you don't got no smut on your name out here in these streets. Anybody that ever mentioned your name say you a real one, you a solid one. So why would you be sitting there with this funky fat rat, right? who sat on and ratted on you in the grand jury testimony and gave up your government name, your AKA, your street name, and gave up your gang affiliation. When you over there being a civilian, right? And then he goes and gives the alphabet boy questions to ask you to try to jam you up on the alphabet boys channel, right? And then he comes behind with his rat ass and asks you more questions and try to act like he was your friend and was trying to jam you up. And like Napoleon said on the Art of the Dialogue this week or last week, that you were very smart and very intelligent in how you answered your questions, as I said myself. So if Napoleon see it and I see it, other people see it, you wasn't like the rest of these dumb goofballs that get up on the alphabet channel and incriminate yourself and land up in jail like Keefy D, right? But I pulled a little something for you, right? I did a show going on 3 years ago now when Keefy D first got arrested and the grand jury testimony came out, right? Listen to this, Neckbone. You know, did Suge have some of his, as you call them, homeboys come out as well? Yes, sir. And among the homeboys, are you familiar with somebody who went by the moniker Neckbone? Yes, sir. And who is that? Roger Williams. And do you know him to be a Mar Pyru member? Yes, sir. Yo, Reggie, what is you snitching on niggas? Why is you telling niggas they in the gang, bro? Are you a cop or you a drug dealer right now? Or are you just a good witness of security? Are you being a good witness? How is you snitching on these niggas? Telling them they in the gang, bro. Wow. This is what we doing, Reggie? This is what we doing? Or what you gonna say? You ain't no snitch? It was your job? See what I told you, Neckbone? Nobody knew your real name except for those that know. But us, regular people from the East Coast, from the dirty South, from the Midwest, those from the West Coast that ain't grow up in Compton, nobody knew your name. So when he went and testified in the grand jury and gave up your government name, who's to say who's watching YouTube? To be like, oh, because they can be a fan of Tupac and be watching and try to figure out, if this case is ever going to be cracked. And then next thing they know, they sitting down watching, and people like me who's reading the grand jury testimony, because I'm not the only one that read it. It was quite a few people. I might have been one of the first, right? They probably was like, hey, I know that name. He worked with me at the DMV. Wow. And then everything else that he testified to in that grand jury would make you look like a scary dude, right? Especially with the reputation that Death Row got. And I understand you grew up with the fat funky pig, right? But he's not your friend, bro. You better be careful doing these interviews with him. He be trying to jam you up. And I know you got a third eye and you intelligent in how you answer your questions, but you better watch that nigga. Trust me when I tell you. Better watch that fat funky pig. He trying to jam you up. You will be the next Keefy D. Why is he now? Think about this, Neckbone. Why is prosecutors asking him, do he know you? They didn't even know your government name, right? They asked him, yo, do you know somebody by the name of Neckbone? He said, yeah, and just gave up your government. And then they asked him, was you in the gang? Yeah, and gave up your gang affiliation. He didn't have to answer that question. He could be like, yo, you know a dude named Neckbone? Yeah, I heard of him. You know what I'm saying? Do you know his real name? Nah, I just know him as Neckbone. Is he in the gang? I don't know. I just know I heard the name Neckbone. He didn't have to go and give him your government and give him your gang affiliation. And then you go on the Alphabet channel and you start answering questions. You don't think that the prosecutors who had this funky fat pig testify in the grand jury and they asked him questions about you, you don't think none of those questions came from them? Not one? And you know I'm not lying because you can see all the questions right here. I just got my logo of it over it. And then, you know, did Suge have some of his, as you called them, homeboys come out as well? Yes, sir. And among the homeboys, are you familiar with somebody who went by the moniker Neckbone? Yes, sir. He's snitching. He's not the police no more. He's in this grand jury testifying as a dude fresh out of the federal penitentiary for drug trafficking. So you can't say that he's security. He can't sit here and say that he's the cop, right? This nigga was just running with the Great Street Crips, right? Drug trafficking, money laundering. Him and his daddy got convicted, right? So he's not going in there as a good citizen, as a cop. He's fresh off a bid. He's fresh from out here pushing peas. He's an informant. He was already an informant for the FBI, for Phil Carson and them, right? Then he was an informant for Greg Caden. He the one that told on Keefy D and them, oh, Southside killed Biggie because they didn't get their money for killing Tupac. Suge killed Biggie, allegedly, you know, and he said he got Teresa Swan or Tammy Hawkins, you know, to give the money to Poochie, and Poochie carried out the murder, allegedly, for Suge. Now he's at the grand jury. It ain't no telling what he told on the Grave Street Crip niggas off the record. Now he at the grand jury testifying about you. Why are they even asking about you? Where they get your name from? And you sitting down on the Alphabet channel with this rat? And he's sitting there snitching on you. And then, you know, did Suge have some of his, as you call them, homeboys come out as well? Yes, sir. And among the homeboys, are you familiar with somebody who went by the moniker Neckbone? Yes, sir. And who is that? Roger Williams. And do you know him to be a Mar Pyru member? Yes, sir. Yo, Reggie, what is you snitching on niggas? Why is you telling niggas they in the gang, bro? Are you a cop or you a drug dealer right now? Or are you just a good witness of security? Are you being a good witness? How is you snitching on these niggas? Telling them they in the gang, bro. Wow. This is what we doing, Reggie? This is what we doing? Or what you gonna say? You ain't no snitch? It was your job? And then, you know. Now, just to pull your coat, Neckbone, because I'm sure you probably never seen that before. But I had to let you know, be careful. Just because them niggas give you a couple of grand to go up on the alphabet channel, you better be careful because they will ask you some questions just to see your body language. You ain't even got to answer the question. They just want to see your body language. You know what I'm saying? And see how you respond to stuff. And trust me, the boys is watching. That channel over there, nigga, they watch that channel how we used to watch Martin, nigga. The boys is tuned in like we used to watch Saturday morning cartoons. Niggas is up, they over there watching that like it's Spider-Man and Amazing Friends. Like they watch it like it's the Flintstones, boy. And we little kids, they watch it. Like, boy, you better be careful going up there with on that channel. Cause they tuned in. Them niggas are sitting around with donuts. Look at these dumb niggas. Hey, John, can you believe he answered that question? Give me some more donuts. These niggas out here, they so goddamn stupid. Hey, Reggie, ask him some more questions, Reggie. Ask him this. Boy, these niggas are stupid. Hey, didn't you know we had this guy in the interrogation room for goddamn 16 hours? He wouldn't tell us nothing. Can you believe he'll go right up here and sit there and answer the same goddamn questions he told about he ain't talking about? Can you believe? Hey, man, give me a chocolate donut. I can't believe this, man. Man, we should have started Vlad 30 years ago, man. Can you believe these niggas? These stupid ass niggas. They won't come in, they won't say nothing, man. You know how many packs of Newports I done gave these dudes and Coca-Colas? Man, I even gave this one kid a box of Popeye's chicken. He wouldn't tell me nothing. He said, I ain't no rat. And they just go right up over here on Vlad, man, and they answer our same questions. Man, we stupid, man. We should have did this 50 years ago, man. We should have had this Vlad guy, man, just give these dudes some goddamn money. They come up there and say everything they wouldn't even say in the precinct. I can't believe this, man. Damn Johnny. We wasted a whole bunch of years. We could have been solving crime after crime, Mike. These niggas, they get right up on here and they think we not watching. I love me some Vlad. Hey, Hey, text him this question right here. Hey, text him this question. Hey, text Vlad this question right here. Yeah, you ask him, man, who killed this guy? Can you believe these guys? They won't tell us nothing in the precinct. But they like, man, they really like this Ukrainian guy, man. They really like this guy, man. Man, he's from the hood. Man, they treat him like he's from the hood. They won't never tell us nothing, man. Man, we need to go get us a Carl Kanai shirt. God told me, man, I ain't no rat. I ain't gonna tell you nothing. And he answering every goddamn question right on Vlad. I can't believe this, man. And he said that good thing we got federal informants like Reggie, man. Man, these guys, he get these guys to talk all day. They come on the channel and they just, man, he's the best CI we ever had, man. Yo, all jokes aside, these niggas will go right in the precinct talking about you ain't no snitch and go right up on Vlad and answer the same exact questions that they would ask him in the precinct. Vlad, you cool, nigga. You know what I mean? You cool. Yo, man. Yo. Anyway, let me move on, man. Right? Now, y'all remember this video, right? Now, there's evidence out there or statements out there from Kevin Hackey, right? And Kevin Hackey says that there was FBI and ATN officers that was tailing Tupac and Suge and them in Vegas that night. And they was in the car right behind Frank and them. And it is said that there is footage of the shooting, right? Now, just in case you don't believe what I'm saying, listen to this.
Informed us he was working as an undercover FBI agent a year before Tupac was killed. According to Hackey, FBI agents and ATN agents were in cars just behind Tupac on the night he was shot.
Did y'all hear that loud and clear? Did y'all hear that loud and clear? Give me a thumbs up if you heard that loud and clear. Okay, thank you. So Hackey said that it was FBI and ATN agents. I believe that's alcohol, tobacco, narcotics, whatever they were, right? Agents that was in the entourage, right? Let me show you a picture of Hackey so you know, for those who don't know. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair uses are use permitted by the copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing nonprofit educational or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. And I'm using this under fair use, right? Listen to this.
One of Tupac's former bodyguards, who had been acting undercover for a multi-agency task force, confirmed how paperwork revealed that One of Tupac's former bodyguards, who had been acting undercover for a multi-agency task force, confirmed how paperwork revealed that FBI have a videotape of the Tupac crime being carried out. The tape, which had been captured around 24 feet away, being roughly the distance behind the bodyguard's car, which was at the rear of the BMW Tupac.
Okay? That's Kevin Hackey. And like he said, right? Kevin Hackey said that the boys was right there telling him. Now, some of y'all gonna say, yo, well, why did they ain't do nothing? Why they ain't arrest nobody? Because the FBI are not police, right? They are the Federal Bureau Investigations. They investigate the crime, and then once they done with the investigation, then they come and arrest. But they're not gonna blow their cover, right? Uh, while they doing the investigation, right? Because remember, Hackey was working for them undercover uh while he was at death row, right? So you heard it there, right? And remember, uh this guy interviewed Hackey and he told them the same thing, right?
Informed us he was working as an undercover FBI agent a year before Tupac was killed. According to Hackey, FBI agents and ATN agents were in cars just behind Tupac on the night he was shot.
Right? Now, here's an interesting thing, right? Which made me come on. Now, I know, like I said, I've been talking to Suge a long time. And I learned to take some of the stuff that he say with a grain of salt. And then some of the stuff that he say be true. But I have to decipher which is which, right? But however, Suge did tell me that when he bust that U-turn to go back up to Las Vegas Boulevard after the car got shot up, that he said police came out of nowhere and sideswiped him, right? Now, I don't know if yes, we was investigating Death Row and Suge Knight on money laundering, tax evasion, and drug trafficking. Now, how I know you are law enforcement and not somebody just clout chasing? I'm one of the ATF agents that was following that entourage that night. So you telling me you work for the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives? Glenn Kreiner. Is it Kreiner or Krenner? You not blowing your cover by saying this? Or are you cloud chasing? I mean, you never know, y'all. Phil Carson came out and told his story. Greg Caden came out and told his story. Who's to say this guy's lying? How long have you been on the force, sir? Can I drop the link and you come on and talk about it? Can you do that? Can you show your face? You know if you playing that the boys is going to be on you. They're going to look up your YouTube channel and they're going to be subpoenaing you for coming on here making these statements. So if you playing, you might want to stop right now. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt to hang yourself. Cause it ain't gonna be hard for them to find you because your name is on the screen. Your name is your channel. They could go and see your channel and go right to you and be at your door within hours. I don't think that's something you want to play with if you don't want the boys at your door. This is not, you see KVD in jail right now? Glenn, you will have the boys at your door in the morning. All jokes aside, if you don't know that, like, this is public record. This is a murder investigation, and you're saying that you were there? I already wrote a 30-page report to the FBI, which is sealed by the federal government. I can definitely send a few documents over. Choke no joke at Gmail is my email. How about I drop the link and you come on and talk? Can you do that? Hold on. Matter of fact, we ain't gotta ask. They go the link for you right there, Glenn. Just hit that link. Let me see if I Google your name. Will it come up? I think he is the real deal, Choke. He is on a website. Well, if he the real deal, he'll come on. I just dropped the link. Let's see if he come on. Glenn trying to make Reggie fall out his chair. Give you 2 more minutes. Cece, drop a link so I can see what you see. Hit the link, Glenn. Hey, Glenn, did you work with Kevin Hackey? Glenn done got off, y'all. He probably deleting his YouTube channel right now, his Gmail. Because you know they're going to be on his ass. He already put himself out there. I guess he not coming. Well, y'all can click on his yeah, he's faking. But you got the attention you looking for. Do you know that impersonating a officer is a crime? I hope you got to know that. I hope you got to know impersonating an officer is a crime. They gonna be on at your door tomorrow, buddy. They gonna be at your door tomorrow. You watch and see. You are up on YouTube impersonating an officer, an ATF officer. Yeah, man, the things y'all do for attention, boy. Oh my God, bro. The things people do for attention. You get on the internet and impersonate an officer and think that the police won't be at your door in the morning, probably tonight. You don't think that they sitting here trying to solve this crime, and you sit and get up on here and talking about you got the plate number. Oh, buddy, you're a genius, Glenn. Woo! Hey, let's put your name back up on the screen one more time, so the people that watch the channel, they gonna get you. They gonna get you. Now, let me get back to what I was saying, right? He ain't emailing no documents. Trust me, if he was real, he would have hit that link. Now, I see you, CC. I see you, CC. But let me get back to what I was saying, right? So, like I said, when Suge say something, I learned to take it with a grain of salt, right? But it's sometimes he's telling the truth, and sometimes he be capping. But sometimes, I can decipher what's real and what's not. But the thing that brought me on tonight, right? Thinking about Kevin Hackey saying that the ATF and the FBI was following them because they was doing the investigation. And as we know, Kevin Hackey was working undercover, right? And ironically speaking, Kevin Hackey wasn't working that day. So who's to say he wasn't in the car with them when they was following them? That's a strong possibility, right? Because as you know, Reggie sits there and lies. Sometimes he say Hackey was there, and then other times he say Hackey wasn't there, right? But we know that Hackey wasn't on the security detail that day. So who's to say that he wasn't in the car with them, following them, being that he was investigating them, right? We won't know until this trial come around, and hopefully they subpoena Hackey and he tell it, right? And we know this thing ain't really been solved because allegedly it was some police involved. Now, the one thing I believe Suge on 100% is that Orlando Anderson was not the shooter. And I got a, a thousand reasons why I don't believe Orlando was the shooter. Because if Orlando was the shooter, why would Reggie be meeting with Orlando and giving him money after he done called his father and told his father Orlando Anderson is the one that shot Tupac? Orlando shot Tupac. You call your daddy and say, yeah, Orlando Anderson shot Tupac. But then you and your daddy sitting down with Orlando, with Officer Reynolds and Edie Falls' office, and y'all giving Orlando money to go and testify for Suge. That never will ever, ever make sense to me. Being a street nigga, I'm gonna pay the dude that shot me in the head, allegedly, right? If I was Suge, me, my company, anybody close to me, right? I'm gonna give this dude half a man, half a 100,000, 60,000, whatever the number is. And he killed my little brother, Tupac, and I'm gonna give him money. And Reggie, who called his daddy and said, "This is the guy that killed Tupac." Now they sitting down having a meeting with this nigga and giving him money. This is what I don't understand about Tupac cousin, William Lassane, right? You sitting around with Reggie, laughing, keying, doing interviews with Reggie, and this nigga is sitting down with the nigga that they say killed your cousin and giving him money to go and testify for Suge. And you pump with Reggie? Like, how much do you love Tupac, my nigga? You sitting down doing interviews with Reggie, laughing and joking with Reggie. The same nigga that's sitting there talking about Jamala don't know what she's talking about. Your family member. She don't know what she talking about, and she was living with Tupac. And you cool with Reggie, right? Make it make sense to me, William. This nigga called his daddy and told his daddy, Orlando Anderson just shot Tupac and Suge. Tupac dies. And him and his daddy and Officer Reynolds and Edie Fall's office meeting up with him and KVD and giving these niggas stacks to go testify for Suge. What? And you on the internet laughing and joking with this nigga? But you love Tupac. I wish my cousin would be sitting down laughing and joking with the nigga that paid the nigga that Susan allegedly killed my cousin. I'm on this nigga channel doing interviews with this nigga and cool with this nigga. What? And you love Tupac. Come on, man. How much this nigga paid you? How much money could he have paid you to sit up there and laugh and key with this dude? And he's the one that called his father and said Orlando killed Tupac. Or shot him and Tupac died 6 days later. And he's now sitting down, having a meeting in Edie Fall's office and giving the nigga that killed your cousin money to go testify for Suge. And if I'm Suge, I want the nigga that shot me in the head to come to court and testify for me on my behalf after he just shot me in the head and killed my little brother? I wish I would. I'd have took that money and got that nigga knocked off. You stupid. Yo, man. I wouldn't have gave Orlando Anderson $5 to come testify on my behalf if he shot me in the head, bro. And killed the dude that was in the car with me. I'm giving him money to come testify for me. And y'all telling me these niggas love Tupac? And then turn around and get this nigga KVD interviews. And you sitting now laughing and kikiing with Reggie. And you talking about how traumatized you was watching KVD do interviews and talking about Tupac and him breakdancing and saying that he did it, this, that, and the other. But you are on this nigga Reggie's channel doing the interview with Reggie. And he's the one that set up the interviews for KVD that traumatized you. Yo, I'm so confused. And then he spin you when I go in the comments and I'm like, yo, William, if KVD doing interviews did something to you, why would you be doing interviews with the dude that set up the interviews? And Reggie took and spun it and said a whole bunch of other stuff, and he never even answered my question because before he could say anything, Reggie said a whole bunch of other stuff. And then Reggie said, oh, man, I hope you don't get cool with Choke. I bet you don't hope he to get cool with Choke, right? Because one conversation with me, I will wake him up. Let me move on past that, man, because I don't want the brother to feel like I'm attacking him or anything like that. But it don't make no sense to me that Reggie's the one that called his father and said Orlando did it. Then he's sitting down giving the nigga money. Prior to that, before Tupac got killed, him and his daddy pulling up in the red Lexus with a briefcase going in Keefy D's shop and leaving out without a briefcase. And then you telling me Reggie father was still active as the captain of the Compton PD. Reynolds was an officer at the time. And they sitting there doing witness tampering, paying a witness to go say to talk in Suge's favor to try to help Suge beat a parole hearing. That's a crime, and nobody got in trouble for it. And William, did you ever think that maybe they wasn't paying him to testify and probably was paying him for good looking, my nigga? You stood there and you took that ass whipping. We appreciate it, man. It made the story look good. Now it looked real believable, allegedly. You ever thought about that? Maybe that they paid them for being a part of the setup, allegedly. You ever thought about that? Because how the hell would Reggie know Orlando did it? He wasn't around nowhere. And then even speak to Suge and them. And then Suge is telling you Orlando wasn't the shooter. That's why I believe Suge when he say Orlando wasn't the shooter. Because what dude will pay the dude that shot him in the head to come and sit across from him in the courtroom? Man, I might have tried to jump up and get that nigga in the courtroom. You killed my little brother. You shot me in the head. And now you sitting there testifying on my behalf that I tried to help you. And Tupac's dead? Oh man, bro. That is crazy, bro. That is crazy. Yo, man. He's upset that Keepy D's doing interviews and Reggie's the one that set up the interview. And got paid off of it. That's mind-blowing to me. But let me move on to what I was saying, right? Suge told me that when he went and he bust that U-turn, and I'm going back to what Kevin Hackey saying that the ATF was right behind Frank and them, watching the whole thing. FBI agent and the ATF because they was investigating death row, right? And it's not a stretch that Hackey could have been in that car. You never know. Because he said he knew for a fact that he could have the person in Biggie's case in cuffs in 48 hours, 2 weeks, the latest, and he knew exactly who did it. And it wasn't no goddamn Poochie. So, being that, according to Hackey, that the FBI and the ATF were in the caravan of the cars, right, undercover, following them, right? When Suge told me when he went and he bust the U-turn, he said police came out of nowhere and side-swiped his car, try to run him off the road, right? Could it have been that same vehicle? And this is why he said his rims is banged up on the passenger side of the car because when he bust the U-turn, they came out of nowhere and they tried to run him off the road. And he went wide and ran up on the curb. Boom, boom. And then dipped off and ran up to Las Vegas Boulevard. And then they got pulled over or his rims gave out or whatever. He couldn't drive no more, but they got stopped up on Las Vegas Boulevard. I believe that. Now that I know that Popo was in the entourage with them, maybe they didn't they wasn't going to try to pull him over because they couldn't pull him over. But who's to say? Or maybe those was another set of police. But he did say police rammed his car and made him go up on the sidewalk. Or try to ram his car. And that's why if you look at his rims, think about it. If he would have just busted U-turn and just went straight up, his rims wouldn't be bent like that. He said they tried to run him off the road and he went up on the sidewalk, and that's why his rims is banged up like that. Trying to find a picture of it. Oh, there you go. You see the rims? Look at that big dent. Now, why would the police be trying to sideswipe him? And they wasn't in the marked car. Just something to think about. But I believe him when he say that. Because what he say? You solve one, you solve both. What else he said? Perez and them was trying to kill him. What else he said? Reggie and Perez was good friends, and Sharitha and Reggie and Perez was great friends. And he said Orlando wasn't the shooter. And all y'all goofies came out and said, oh, well, Big Dre was the shooter. Big Dre was the shooter. Y'all forgot Keefy D said Big Dre was scared? And if you believe Keefy D, why don't you believe Keefy D when he said in 1998 that allegedly Reggie Wright Jr. was responsible for killing Tupac? He said that in 98, way before he met Greg Caden in them. When Greg Caden and them came in to get a statement from him, Greg Caden told him, yo, you can't tell us that other story. Why? Why he can't tell you what he told you and told him in 1998, the FBI, that Reggie Wright Jr. allegedly is the one that orchestrated the Tupac murder. In 98, he said that. Way before he said it was Orlando and all this murder rap story and all this other stuff. Why do everybody disregard that in 1998, before any murder rap, before any of that, that Keefy D gave a statement and said that Reggie Wright Jr. had allegedly had something to do with Tupac murder? The same thing that he's saying now on the news, right? Greg Cade is the one that told him that 4 dudes was in the car. Where you think he get that story from? Porky. But you look it up if you don't believe me. Keefy D gave the feds a statement in 98 and said that allegedly that Reggie Wright Jr. was responsible for the murder of Tupac in 98. Nobody knows where the hell Greg Caden was at in 98. And Greg Caden was not on the Tupac murder. His job was to solve the Biggie murder. Only thing that led him to Keefy D was Reggie ratting again, snitch ass nigga, told Greg Caden, LAPD, that Southside killed Biggie in retaliation for not getting their money for killing Tupac. And who told Reggie that Southside killed Tupac? Think about it. If Suge is saying Orlando wasn't the shooter, then it would make sense to why he wouldn't care if he came and testified before him. If Reggie is telling his father that Orlando was the shooter, why is he sitting down giving this nigga money? How much money would you pay a guy that shot you in the head and killed your little brother? Because that's what Suge always called Pac, his little brother, right? How much money would you give a dude to come testify for you because you scared that you're going to get a parole violation? You really believe that you could sit down and look at the guy and you think Suge don't have no trauma from that night, all the bullets hitting his car? You think he ain't got no trauma from Tupac dying, but that he could sit down and look at the guy that shot up his car? You really think that? You really think that? He could sit there and look at this guy, and this is the guy that killed Tupac and shot him in the head. And he could sit there and look at him because they gave him $60,000. You would pay the guy that killed Tupac money? So there's a murder suspect, and Reggie and his father and Officer Reynolds is sitting there in Edie Fall's office giving a murder suspect money, doing business with a murder suspect. If y'all buying that, man, I'm selling the San Francisco Bridge for $1. Who want to buy it? Right? Anybody want to buy the San Francisco Bridge? I'm selling it for $1. Joke, no joke, man. Hit that subscribe button if you're new here. Glenn, you pump faking. Hit that like button before you go. Leave a comment in the when this video go off. Do it make sense to you that Reggie will call his father and tell him Orlando Anderson is the one that shot Tupac and eventually Tupac died? And they sitting there in the meeting giving this nigga money. Do it make sense that Tupac cousin is sitting there laughing and keying with Reggie, knowing that he had a meeting with the guy who said he was the shooter, allegedly, that Reggie said was the shooter, and he's sitting there giving him money, but they love Tupac. The same guy that got Keefy D to do all these interviews on Vlad, Cam Capone, Art of Dialogue, he facilitated these interviews that got his cousin feeling away, and his cousin's cool with Reggie. And Reggie talking about, oh man, you know the fans, we did a poll, the fans wanted us to bring him on our channel, but we ain't do it because, he wanted $500. Nigga, stop lying. Stop lying. We watch you call Keefy D. You called him. Trolling. Ask him when he gonna come on your channel and he hung up on you. Who are you lying? You can lie to them, but you can't lie to us because we watch your lies. They not as up on your bullshit lies like we are. Just like you took and spun them when I asked him the question. How you mad at Keefy D for him going to do the interviews, but you not mad at Reggie for setting up the interviews? Oh, nah, we only was going to interview him because the fans wanted. Nigga, he killed Tupac. What are you interviewing him for, allegedly? Why would you want to interview him? Period. If he wanted $1. Make it make sense. Choke, no joke. Y'all have a good night, man. One.
Jack Brown, you know what it is. Keep on hating, you know what it is. Never did I think hip-hop go this far. Never did I think I see Diddy behind bars or kills, penitentiary scars. The Man Act, is it going too far? Back, y'all industry rats, y'all whack. That's 100 on Pyro. You'll be trapped like Pac. The go viral. Gene saw the nuts of gyro at the freak off and Diddy too. But plug shopper, freak door stopper. Nigga, you don't know if you a criminal or a cop. But you're next to be locked. Ask Keefy D, telling on yourself on Vlad TV. You dumb nigga, right? You never be me, and I never be you too. Telling on YouTube, yeah, sitting on the step, giving up myself. What the fuck I look like? My name G-Dap. Comb legacy doom. Will the bad boy see time like loan? Your extortion fell through. You friend to no one, like the moon. What did you do? Sat back and watch him get groomed. Only badge in the room. You and wifey drunk the juice. Saw the check for Pac's life. And his back right. Guess it's bad boy for life. Or should I say same gang? You the same lane. That Diddy let hang. And now he chain gang. Damn, you rocked him, fella, didn't you? For the mozzarella, did it for Wolf and his mother, D-Ferg and Kurt Burrow. Nah, nigga, you did it cause your ass ain't thorough. And you ain't from the boroughs. Joke, no joke, you know what it is. This one's for the whole earth, when they get disrespectful. I just go to the booth and kick the truth to the young black youth. Joke, no joke, you know what it is. Keep on hating, you know what it is. choke, no joke.
Yeah.
It's choke, no joke.
Let's go.
Choke, no joke. Chicken choke, no joke. Choke.